Hello everyone, today we'll be checking out Triathlon, so I hope you got your running shoes on. This is a game for 3 to 9 players and plays for ages 8 and up, and plays in about 30-ish minutes, with like 10 minutes around, and there's 3 rounds. This is a game where you play as a multi-race triathlon person, and you're trying to complete 3 rounds of races. These races are completed by gathering 5 cards of a set, whether it be number increments of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so forth. I don't know what to call that, but whatever. I explained it very well. All the colors in one hand, and because you need them anyways, is the run of 1 through 5 cards and the same color. So let's check out how to play it. This is Triathlon. This is a multi-sport race where players are trying to complete stages in order to win. Stages can be complete in 3 different ways, one of which is getting your hand in a run, which is pretty much increase of numbers all in the same order. There's also completing a stage with all the same color. Another stage can be completed while in a run and also being the same color. Start the game by drawing 5 cards to each player. Each stage could be completed in any order you'd like, and there are some cards to help you within your multi-race. Now, naturally, I set this up in a 3-player experience here because it's the lowest amount of players available to get a game going. Some of the cards that can help you in this game are pro cards. They could change color or they could change number. The innovator can play any sport. They could play any suit, and they could play any color. The adrenaline rush. When people are discarding cards, I'll show you later, you can actually take the card instantly. And injury. Naturally, you lose a turn. So let me show you how this all comes together. So this player is going to go first. He's going to draw a card and look at his cards. Alright, so what he wants to do is start by discarding a card. Now it says injury, and no, that does not mean that I've lost. It means that I play this injury card on an opponent's discard pile. So I'm going to play this there. So starting on his turn, he cannot play. He has to actually discard the injury and loses the turn. So with the rest of the 5 cards, I'm going to start putting them together and get a little process going here to get a stage out of the way. Looks like I'm working on the yellow more than anything. I can go 2, and for this pro I'll make it a 3 and then 4, or I could do like a 1, 2, wait for the 3, whatever I want to do. So the next player goes, I could see a run going on right here, a little simple run. So I'll draw a card, and let's see. So I do have some colors going on here, and I also have a 1, 2, and a 3 for the run. So I'm going to discard this 3 onto my discard pile. And now this player has the injury, so all they have to do is discard. So it's this player's turn again. You could draw from the deck, or you could draw from somebody's discard pile. Okay. So I do have the pro 2 and 4. I need that 3. So that's what I'm going to grab. I'm going to grab a 3. That way I got a nice, almost have a stage complete here. I'm going to discard the 6. This player, let's see. 1, 2, 3. I don't see any 4s. The adrenaline rush I can't use, and I don't want it at the moment. So I'm just going to draw off the top. Ooh, off top. Look at that. 3 blues. I could change up my strategy real quick, or I could just get a 4 somehow. I guess I'll discard the 1. All right, now this player is up in the. Oh, tell me this dude is not loaded and locked with opportunity to hurt people. So, a couple adrenaline rushes and a 7 and multiple injuries. Draw a card. Oh my goodness, man. All right, there's 9 injury cards, and we've already seen 4 of them. So he's just going to return the favor real quick. All right, this player obviously has to just skip his turn. All right, so he draws. And, oh, would you look at that? He has enough for, shoot, he's got a whole run right here. He could choose anyone he wants. Whether he wants to do 1 through 5 or 2 through 6. So I think what he's going to do is discard the 1 and just instantly be like, I finished a set. So everyone takes a look to see if they've completed any sets. They didn't. And of course he didn't. He's just playing with the injuries here. So they've completed 1 set. You want to get a piece of paper. You want to write down everyone's name who's playing. So I'm going to mark that stage 1 is complete. Any other players who would have finished a stage that round, go ahead and mark it off. But as you saw in this example, nothing happened. So all the cards will be taken, reshuffled, and redealt for round 2. You can see, Triathlon. It's a very simple game. So keep playing until someone's gotten all 3 stages completed. So as you can tell, Triathlon is a very simple game to learn and play. Hence the age of 8 and up. 8-year-olds can literally get this game down like this. I've tried it. So let's talk about things I liked. The simplicity of the game and the easiness of the game does make this accessible for anyone to want to play. Typically, as you could tell, I do like these kind of games because I don't necessarily have my game group here all the time, especially since I moved away from my game group last year. However, when I do get around with my game groups, there is no reason why I wouldn't bring a game like this along because it is something nice to have as a filler between some of the heavier games we do play together. I think the minimalism suits the game very well. Triathlons are a very stressful experience. And while, this game could benefit from having some aggressively fast-paced looking artwork, I think the minimalism does just kind of make the game represent its simplicity very well. You have colors and symbols that represent swimming, cycling, and running. That's all you really need. That's what the game is full of. There's no fillers. Another thing I liked about this, and I actually appreciated that they didn't go a different route with this, is the fact that you could complete your stages in any order. You don't need to start with stage 1 and then 2 and 3. I feel like that would only elongate the game and also just make it more complicated trying to complete specific stages when you could just do any stage you want, which is nice because as you're getting towards mid game and late game, when you have completed some other stages, now you're kind of working towards like, okay, not only do I need all of the same color, but I also need a set 1 through 5 or 2 through 6 or whatever you want to do, which is it's not a very strategic game, but there's definitely some strategy in play when you're like, okay, what stages should I go for first? Especially, you can kind of tell right off the bat when you do get a set of cards, and I guess this is more of like a not something I like, not something I dislike, just neutral thoughts on the game is you kind of tell what stage you're going for based off the card you're given at the beginning of the game. And you can make some differences here if you have like an adrenaline rush and you want to take somebody else's card, or based off the cards that you're pulling. But if you're already sitting on like a 1, 2, 3, and then you have like adrenaline rush, you already know you're going for that specific stage. Now, if those are all the same color, lucky for you, you're working on the hardest stage yet to come. Another thing I like is the additional cards that are represented in the game, like injury and pro, and cards that can help you. I do really appreciate being in the game. It does help. It just gives you that relaxing feeling when you're trying to work on a stage that's very difficult and you get one of those like Pro Plus cards and you're like, wow, I can literally complete anything I want now. Or just really screwing someone over with that injury card. Nothing feels better than watching an 8-year-old cry and run off when I've injured him 3 times in a row and he's upset that he hasn't had his own turn yet. Things I don't like. I can... This game doesn't really call for playing multiple times. I think after we play it, it's really easy to move on to something else. Not that there's anything wrong with that, of course. It's just not something that you just hop back into for another go. You've already played 3 rounds. If you're reshuffling and then drawing it out again, it just feels like it's a round 4. It doesn't really feel like it's round 1 all over again. There's no monumental difference between rounds and no monumental difference between games. Each round is played the same way. Just a matter of what you're going to be working on next. What are some great strategies I have for triathlon? Well, based off a couple of the experiences I have, I highly recommend saving your pro cards for that last stage. Because while you are getting to mid and late game, people will be completing stages, especially stage 1 and more than likely stage 2, and you really want to have that upper leg on stage 3. So make sure to hold on to those pro cards, and if you see a pro plus, I don't know why anybody would want to discard that, but ages 8 and up, adrenaline rush the hell out of that. I'm telling you, that will be your lifesaver, especially towards the end of the game when everyone's already completed 2 stages. You don't know how far people are to that 3rd stage, because usually that is the last stage to complete, and obviously you want to win. Is this a game suited for you? Well, I will mention this one last time, especially since the video is almost over. I have no other room to say this, but it is ages 8 and up. Keep that in mind. This is a fantastic game for kids. They like the colors, they like the difficulty, especially at that age, of learning to create sets. It's a little more of an experience for younger people is what I've noticed. They really feel happy when they've completed their stage. Don't let that fool you. I have had a couple great drinking sessions out of this, completing stages and forcing shots. I never complete the stages though, unfortunately. Not as fast as them. Man, I miss that group. But I'm just going to lay it down like this. If you're looking for a game with lots of running and no sweat... Oh, that's weird. What? It says so on the box. Wow, this must be the game for you. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and smash that like button. Makes me feel good. Leave a comment to tell me what you think about the game. If there's any other games similar to this, or super side note, what games are you playing? And also, don't forget to subscribe. I'm almost at 300 subscribers, and that feels pretty awesome. See you in the next review.